Today, when turbos flood streets as a tsunami, a true petrolhead will praise a nice atmospheric engine in a modern car. Naturally, it wasn't like this 30 plus years ago, when even a single turbo car was a unicorn. More so, twin turbocharged engines started to get popular in the 90s, but began as early 1980s. Mazda RX7. There is more than 800,000 RX7s in the world, but it was the third FD generation, which is one of the first twin turbocharged cars ever. The twin-stage system used two turbos with the same boost of 10 psi, switching over from one to another at 4500 rpm. Subjectively, the FD RX7 is also the most beautiful production Mazda ever. Mazda Eunos Cosmo. The Mazda Eunos Cosmo was the very first sequential twin turbocharged car from Japan. Two differently sized turbos were used on both the 13B twin rotor and the only production triple rotor 20B engine as well. Following the gentleman's agreement, the 20B Cosmo had a 280 horsepower, but it was more like 300 horsepower in reality, going to the rear wheels via a 4-speed automatic transmission and an LSD. Mitsubishi GTO. Mitsubishi, being an underrated company right now, was a big boy during the 90s, with some of the coolest cars. Besides the gallant VR4 or Evo, there was also the GTO present, also known as the 3000 GT, featuring not only a twin-turbo system on the 6G72 engine, but a 4-wheel drive and 4-wheel steering as well. Nissan 300ZX. The world's first and the only twin turbocharged Z car was the 300ZX. They sold them as both 2 or 2+2 seaters with an optional T-top. The VG30 engine was incredibly packed inside the engine bay, with twin Garrett turbos, each with its own intercooler. The Z32 also featured a variable valve timing NVCT and super high CAS, the active 4-wheel steering. Nissan Skyline GTR. The first Skyline GTR came from 1969, and yet in 1973 they discontinued the model. However, it came a refresh in 1989, with the Skyline upgraded to modified as a proper GTR after many years. Of course, it was the parallel twin-turbo RB26 DTT, powering all 4 wheels via an advanced motorsport-oriented all-wheel drive system, the Atesa ETS. 1940. Although only 400 of them were meant to be built, despite a number of 1311, it is one of the most expensive Ferrari anyhow. The F40 was created from a 288 GTO Evoluzione program meant for the Group B, which however was cancelled. Enzo therefore decided to make a sheer driving pleasure Spartan road race car. Fun fact, the outer exhaust pipes are from each turbos. The middle one channels out the wastegate from both turbochargers. Porsche 959. The 959 project was developed for the Group B and was later adapted for road use as well. In the basics, it was an all-wheel drive 911 with an aluminum chassis. Its engine wasn't new though, but a revamped air-cooled 2.8 liter using water-cooled heads and sequential twin turbocharging. It was possible to get as much as 530 horsepower upgrade from the factory. Toyota Supra. The name of Supra and twin turbo goes hand in hand, but if you thought that it was the 1JZ or even the 2JZ which made it a twin turbo sports car, keep listening. In 1986, it was the 1G inline 6 engine which received two CT12 turbos and was the first Japanese car to feature a twin turbo. Besides, the engine also used the TVIS variable intake, and to be fair, it was also the Sora and Chaser chassis, which received the 1G GT engine in 1986. Ferrari 288 GTO. The GTO stands for Gran Turismo Omologata, as a homologated Group B racer which never raced though. It was a cool sports car with a twin turbocharged engine and 400 horsepower in 1983. It was a D-board 308 GTB engine with twin IHI snails and twin intercoolers. Multiplied by the FIA 1.4 turbo coefficient, it was just 3997 cc, classifying it into the under 4 liter category. Maserati BITURBO. It is generally known that the Maserati BITURBO is the world's first production twin turbocharged car, but for those who didn't know, here it is. The model was equipped with a 90-degree, distinctively sounding V6 engine sourced from the Maserati Meroc. First variants used the SOHC 3-valve setup with a single Weber carburetor, but a never manufactured version with 6 valves per cylinder was designed as well.